Welcome back for another video. How did the free hit get on them? It was a weird game week. Heading into that final game Monday night, I was only on 42 points. But even that I was actually quite happy with, because the team at that point was 16 points up on where it would have been. The pre-free hit team only had one return, which was Saka, who got an assist for a 4-pointer. After the final game, the red arrow turned green and it ended up a 24-point gain on the free hit, so I'm very happy with that. I basically had no way to get to Foden without selling Bruno or Saka with free transfers, which I wasn't going to do, so the free hit really bailed me out. So that takes us up to 25k overall. By far the most painful moment was during Newcastle versus Burnley. Burnley got a first half red card, and the clean sheet looked a certainty at that point because Newcastle were cruising. And in stoppage time, at the very end of the match, Ramsey handballs it, which gives Burnley a penalty and the double clean sheet gets wiped. I can't help but feel aggrieved by that, because that would have put me on the cusp of 10k if I got that clean sheet as well. But yeah, all in all, a good week. Gordon 10-pointer, Donnarumma clean sheet, Foden with 3 double-digit returns in 3 games, Bruno 18-pointer against Wolves, and Mbeumo also scoring that match. Let's have a look at how you all got on. Fpl Quirk says, decent in it. 92 points all out, and it could have been more as well, with Munoz unexpectedly missing out on the bench boost, but 92 points is a crazy score. Tom Sky says, Foden captain switch last second worked out nicely, but everyone else disappointed. 28 points on the bench. And like many others out there, he did have Dewsbury Hall's 16 points from the bench, which is just unlucky to be honest with you. But even more so, also benched Cash's 9-pointer against Arsenal. LFC Alvox wildcarded, and it couldn't have gone much worse with 24 points all out. The only returns in the entire team were Saka and Pino's assist. Even had Milenkovic's own goal in the starting 11. Clive Moore says, decent week for me. I mean, he comfortably outscored my free hit team even, and he didn't even play a chip. 84 points all out for Clive. The midfield doing the heavy lifting. He had Dewsbury Hall, he had Bruno, Szoboszlai, Foden and Mbeumo all returning in midfield. Alright, one more then. Bellman says, 2.8 million overall rank, 11 million Gameweek rank. If I finish at least in your video, it will be easier for me to bear the catastrophic Gameweek and the season. 36 points all out for Bellman. Well done though, you made it in the video. So I've made 3 transfers already. Let's run you through the team for Gameweek 16, future transfer plans, captaincy and everything else. In goal, Raya's got Wolves home, and Arsenal's sitting comfortably top on the clean sheet odds this week. Wolves, their goal last game week against Man United was actually their only goal they've scored in their last 6 league matches. So one of the 3 transfers I've made was Timber joining the team, and I've doubled up in defence with Arsenal. The defence is Van Dijk, Mukiele, Anderson and Timber. So Timber joins the team in place of Truffer, who's got Man United away. He was just a 1-week punt. It went okay, he got 4 points if you recall a couple of game weeks ago. Not great, not bad I suppose. The rumours are that Gabriel's going to be back before Christmas, so that actually could be Game Week 17, which is just around the corner. Arsenal are in a pretty desperate position at the back, and they really need him and Saliba back as soon as possible. It's a vicious cycle when you've got a few injuries, because you end up having a situation where other players get overplayed, and then they're at greater risk of injury themselves. We might even see Timber in centre-back again this game week, but hopefully that's for the last time this season. A choice between Mukiele and Munoz, who to start in the back 4 this week. Which one would you play, assuming that Munoz is available? I just can't imagine a world where Palace keep a clean sheet, so I'd be counting on an attacking return from Munoz, as he very rarely gets DEFCON as well. But it is close. I'm on Mukiele because he does have good DEFCON potential on the other hand, and he does have better clean sheet odds, though realistically he probably does concede home to Newcastle. Anderson's my favourite budget defender right now, and he's got Burnley next. The next 4 are Burnley, Forest, West Ham and Palace. A clean sheet and a DEFCON in any of those games could be a double-digit return. He's done it a couple of times this season already. 10.92 DEFCONs per 90 is 3rd among all defenders in the league, behind Senesi and Van Dijk. Mukiele as well, also among the best with 10.15 per 90, so in a nutshell, 3 of my back 4 are generally great picks with DEFCONs as well. I'm actually not in a hurry to sell Van Dijk, despite Liverpool's situation as of late. They've just managed a clean sheet in the Champions League away at Inter, which is a good result, and he's actually got some amazing fixtures still. He's got 3 home games in his next 4. Those home games are against Brighton, Wolves and Leeds. So I'm just not convinced there's someone that I could sell him for that is definitively better than Van Dijk. I'm already tripled up on Arsenal, so that rules out any Arsenal defenders. Newcastle defenders look great, but I'm looking from Gameweek 9 onwards when they've got Burnley as their starting fixture of that run. They've got Chelsea and Man United in the next 3, so for me, Van Dijk's still fine in my eyes. Liverpool are the 5th best defence for expected goals conceded. A change in midfield as well. It's Saka, Semenyo, Bruno and Foden. Now, I very rarely make early transfers, but I was in a really awkward spot where I had exact money to buy both Foden and Timber. Plus, there was this situation where people were rushing to spend the free transfers before the AFCON top-up on Saturday night. And then there was the mass transfers being spent after receiving those 5 free transfers. And it's really made price changes go crazy. So I took the risk and I went early to not price myself out and also to benefit from some team value there. So it's Foden who replaces Enzo. I could have waited and actually sold Semenyo instead, but I like Bournemouth's next 3 games, particularly Burnley home in Gameweek 17, so Semenyo is staying in for now. Man United versus Bournemouth could have the makings of a high-scoring game. Man United are now 2nd in the league for expected goals this season. Man City are top, and then it's Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Palace and Liverpool. The bottom, in terms of XG, consists of Burnley, then Sunderland, Wolves, Spurs, Fulham and then West Ham. There's a link below to get 50% off Scout membership, and that gets you access to all the FPL toys to play around with there, like data tables, fixture ticker, player comparison, projected points and all the rest. There's been a lot of comments hating on the Bruno pick this season over the last 15 or so game weeks. Well, despite missing a couple of penalties, he's now the highest scorer midfielder in the game. Saka gets the captaincy this week. I'm going to be monitoring the Champions League minutes. Arsenal have already qualified for the knockout rounds in the Champions League, so this is a golden opportunity to rotate, the likes of Saka, Timber as well ordinarily, but obviously with a bunch of injuries, he might have no choice but to play him. There's just no excuse not to start Madueke in right wing for me, but it's Arteta and Saka, so who knows. Watching that Wolves versus Man United game on Monday night really sealed it for me. It was just unbelievable how open Wolves were. Man United had 20 shots in the box against them, which was top of the game week. They had 8 big chances, which was also top. 4.24 expected goals against Wolves. The next highest was Man City's 2.42. That's how shaky Wolves looked. I've been here before though, like a couple of game weeks ago, opting for Bruno captain over Haaland, and I was burned badly, and that can always happen, especially going against Haaland. Arsenal lead on projected goals this week on the Focal app as well with 2.8. Next highest is Liverpool's 2.1, home to Brighton. Man United 2.0, home to Bournemouth. And then it's Man City and Chelsea in 1.9. Arsenal have dropped a lot of points recently, and this is no game to mess about in. Rest as many players as you can in the Champions League and beat Wolves convincingly. So up front it's Haaland and Thiago. I do expect City to get a result as well, make no mistake. Palace have got to play on Thursday as well in the Europa Conference League, so they get 1 day less rest than City and a much lighter squad. We'll know by Saturday night if going against Haaland was a mistake or not. Well, most likely anyway, given that Arsenal versus Wolves is Saturday night and then City play on Sunday. Dango's been an important player for Brentford, and hopefully he's not missed too much while away at AFCON. It's the final game week with the AFCON players before they all depart. Brentford home to Leeds as well is an amazing fixture on paper, and if you don't own Thiago, it's the perfect entry point to buy him this week. The bench is Dubravka, Munoz, Gw and Bar. The only thing about those transfers that have been made is my bench is on the light side. Ideally, I'd like a minimum of 2 starters, and now I've just got 1 in order to accommodate all those players in the starting 11. Basically, it's just a bit more exposed than is sensible, especially this time of the season. If there's one unexpected benching in my starting 11, then I've got no further depth for any other potential issues. Gw actually might have a chance of starting this one for Chelsea. João Pedro started in the Champions League as Chelsea lost to Atalanta, and Gw was an unused substitute. So 3 transfers already spent, and to recap those, it was Trafford to Timber, it was Enzo to Foden, and then Mateta down to Gw to help fund those upgrades. That leaves the team with 2 free transfers still. I was trying to work out where they could be used, and I'm actually not sure currently, which I don't mind at all. If I had more booked-in transfers that I needed to make, on top of the 3 I've already made, then it's not ideal, because I need nothing else to go wrong basically, but right now I'm not sure. Semenyo hopefully stays in for another 3 game weeks, and then maybe I'll swap him out for Bruno G. In Game Week 19, Bournemouth have got Chelsea, and then they've got Arsenal. Meanwhile, there's an opposite fixture swing for Newcastle, who from then have got Burnley, Palace, Leeds and Wolves. That's just one possible idea though. There's lots of ways I could go in selling Semenyo in a few game weeks time. But yeah, if I do sell Semenyo, that could give me the funds to then improve my depth. You know, that could be like a bar to someone like Dewsbury Hall, who's got great fixtures as well soon. If Maresca gives any indication that Gw will start this game week, then I'll swap him in for the starting 11 and take Mukiele out. They did recall him from loan for a reason, Gw. I mean, he surely has to be used, but I'm not sure whether we're going to get that info from Maresca unless a journalist specifically asks him. And even then, it's not out of the question for Maresca to have someone like Neto ahead of Gw in the pecking order up top. If you'd like a free month of premium for the Focal app and FPL.page, there's a link below for that as well. That's the last giveaway of the entire season, and that ends this month. The free month starts from whenever you activate it, so if you start today, then you'll get till mid-January. Thanks very much for watching. See you soon for the next one.